gear sets and how I do my stuff and just different little routine questions. And so I figured I would run some dailies and just kind of walk through some basic stuff that I do for you guys and gals. I'm just setting up my iPad currently. Takes it a minute to figure out what the hell is going on here. Well, it likes to spawn you up in the do a little restock here. We're gonna go run some need some Intel. I have 3 currently. Let's see. Well, I'm gonna tell you what, YouTube, the stream is definitely not offline. It's definitely online right now. This fucking thing. Anyway, for me, I primarily play the PvE aspect of it. Very rarely do I do the PvP. If I do, I avoid fighting in the Dark Zone, just because I don't give a shit about it. So, we were running a gear set that was mostly Alpha Bridge. It was the 4-gear set before, and for the 4-gear set, if your primary and secondary weapon is of the same category, assault rifles, machine guns, sniper rifles, they both gain all the unique active talents as long as you have them unlocked. So that was what I was running for a little bit, and it works fairly well. It's a good solid deal. You put out a lot of damage, and it gives you a 2-set bonus that you can get. And I was running strikers, which gave you 20% to stability. I've seen some other guys run Nomad, which gives you 15% health on kill. And so I've changed, and I've actually gone to a 3 and 3. So I've gone with Final Measure, which Final Measure with a 3-set bonus gives you plus 25% exotic damage resilience and 15% damage protection from elites. Of course, the 4-set for the Final Measure is when in range of hostile grenades or mortars, diffuses them and adds grenades to your inventory. It can only happen once every 8 seconds, which is pretty handy. And of course we still have Alpha Bridge, which with the 3-set gives you 100% health regen and 5% weapon damage, which is still awesome. Now, of course, if you had been playing the Division and it stopped just due to all the craziness that had happened and just as bad as it was getting gear and that kind of stuff, I would suggest coming back and trying it again. They've changed it up quite a bit, and it's been for the best. It's been very, very good. And as you can see, this gear I've collected in the last like 2 weeks, really and truly. And as I collect new and updated gear, I add it to the box here. Like that one ain't worth a shit. And I'd rather have a decrease in armor than a decrease in the stats. And so, something that they did was, when the game first came out, you had a lot of trouble trying to get gear and do things like that. And so something that they did was this World Tier 5, and you can see it up there in the upper corner. And you can change this. So this tier scales for 230 plus gear score, 205, 229, 183 to 204, which was the original gear score 2 updates ago. And then 2 is 164, 182, and 0 to 163 is tier 1. So when you first start the game, you'll be in tier 1, and so everyone's going to be whatever their little stock levels are. And then as you get bigger and badder, and you want to take on more challenges, or if you're starting out and say you want to run tier 2, tier 2's going to be a little beefy for a person starting out, tiers, levels 1 through 30. Probably once you're getting closer to 30, not so much, but until you get to level 30, you're not going to have any gear score. So that's just something to be aware of. And YouTube is just not working like it's supposed to here. I'm just not doing what I need them to do here. Anyway, so fortunately, myself, Iron, and some of these other guys that play Division with me, we were already at the max gear score when these updates came out. So we simply just went to tier 5 and continued on. So if you're at max gear score, or if you were at the max gear score before, then what you're going to want to do is just come right in here to your map and click over to World Tier 5. And that's going to raise all your bad guys to level 34. And they're going to have armor and all that kind of fun jazz. But so what we're going to do, what we're going to talk about today is that most people don't have groups to play with, or they don't want to play with groups. So we're going to talk about running some of these missions with a gear set that's kind of going to allow you to kind of tank, it's going to give you just a kind of an all-rounded type deal. So the first thing you want to do is good weapons. An excellent YouTuber to look at is Wobo, W-O-B-O, and what this cat does is he puts out stats. He does it for DayZ, he does it for this game, he does it for all sorts of games, and he does really, really good job with telling you what guns are good, what guns are good for this, what guns are good for that. So currently, let's take a look in our weaponry here. And so I've got an assault rifle, the LVAOA or LVOA-C. I just call it the Lovac just because it's all in there. I don't know where it came from. Just call it the Lovac is what I do. Anyhow, this is probably the best, hands down, assault rifle in the game, stat-wise. Now, of course, guns that you can handle, the G36s are very nice. The Lovacs are very nice. There's different options out there. Some people like the SA-50H with the 3-round burst, things like that. Anyway, in the sniper category, the SVD is probably hands down one of the best at burst damage, meaning the amount of damage you can put on target successfully and continue to put on target for a sustained amount of time. But you'll also notice that where I was running the Alpha Bridge with the 2 guns, that I have a classic M60, an infantry MG5, an M700 carbine, which is another sniper rifle, a G36, PP19, and a tactical UMP45. Some of these are personal preferences. The PP19 is probably the best submachine gun currently. G36 kind of up there with the Lovac as far as handling and stuff. The 700 hits like a freight train, but it's a bolt action. And essentially it's a 700 Remington 700 action in a carbon frame with a floated barrel and all that kind of jazz. So you can put modifications and all that stuff on it. You have the infantry MG5, which is a new updated version from some country, probably, I don't know who's building this rascal. I don't know if FN's building it or the Finns, Swedes. Somebody's using this light machine gun as an alternative to, say, the SAW or something like that. Which you have the classic M60. There's several variants. You got the E6, which is a shorty. You got the classic M60, which is full length. And then you have the Hungry Hog, which is probably hands down the best gun in the game currently, as far as machine guns go and as far as everything else for sustained and burst damage. And apparently I'm missing something off my Lovac here. I'm missing a hand grip. Where did my grip go? Son of a bitch. I guess I lost it somewhere. I was playing with shit last night.
Don't be shy.
Yeah, of course there's no fucking buyback shit. What if I put it in here? So along with that, they've made gear drops a lot better. I mean, as an individual just wanting to play the game, you can go out and make good gear. They have the HVTs, the high value targets, which you can go out and you can just make all this money and all this stuff. It's pretty damn awesome. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's pretty cool. And there we go. I don't know why that's not in here. There we go. Much better. And so, as an individual, so in the other aspects of it, a lot of folks want to run damage and stuff. What I'll end up doing is I run health. So, before I was running the smart cover. Yeah, I was running the smart cover, and that would give you bonuses to, I was running this one, allies in the affected area are buffed while enemies are debuffed for the same amounts. So if you were hiding in a set area, and as long as you were within the affected area of the smart cover, your friends got buffs. And the bad guys that were hiding in hard cover did not. They would actually be debuffed for the same amount that you were being buffed, which was kind of handy, especially when you got people that are sniping or doing whatever. So I've actually gone away from that, and I've gone to the first aid, and I've gone to the overheal, and then I've always carried what we call the Healy box or the toolbox or whatever, the support station. And this one I have the life support, which is to revive people in the affected area. And so as an individual player, I would highly suggest this box here, because what it does, it allows you to get up to cover. You're going to drop your box, and then if shotgunners or anything like that push you and you get dropped in the affected area, they have to kill your box before it can res you, then try to kill you. And then my signature or ultimate is Recovery Link, which heals and cures the user and nearby allies, revive the allies in range, automatically triggers on lethal damage when not in a group. So they added that last little part in there because I noticed it last night when I was playing. Triggers on lethal damage when not in a group. And those will keep your butt in the fight as you're leaving, as you're coming into the engagement, or as you press too far forward. And you'll see it a few times out of me that I will indeed push too far forward and have to fall back. And as I'm leaving, I'm either popping my first aid or maybe a med kit or something like that. Let's see. So let's go back through what I'm actually running as far as armor. So we've got a final measure vest currently, and that's given us, as you can see, my signature or my skills are actually 5,000 firearms, 4,900 stamina, and 4,800 in electronics, which is good. Remember that you can re-roll aspects of your armor to get what you need out of it. Currently this vest is good. It's got 3,100 armor, which is great. We've got 9% exotic damage resilience on top of what we already have. And I had re-rolled this one for armor, I believe, so it's got 1,165 additional armor. That brings it up to the 3,100. And minor attributes was plus 53% ammo capacity, which is always good. You need ammo. So then we've got our kit here, and I re-rolled it for firearms, or maybe my mod is bringing it up for firearms. Yeah, so I have a firearms mod on it that brings it up. We have Alpha Bridge knee pads, which give me a boost to armor, disrupt distance, blind death resistance, shock resistance. Always handy. Let's see. So pads, we just have boost to armor, and it's pretty level across the board. That's how most holsters are going to be. So our gloves. I have an additional, I rolled it for assault rifle damage because at the time I was running Alpha Bridge, the whole set, and so that gave you an additional 1,185 damage. Either probably to shot, per shot. And we have Alpha Bridge rucksack, and we rolled it for armor, and it had an additional 50% ammo capacity, which is always great. Let's dump some of this other gear. So another thing that they brought in here, now this is the hub down here, and if you have the DLCs for the underground / survival, then you'll have this hub terminal. And it's on the backside of your actual base of operations here. So this is your main base of operations, and you have the terminal, and you just walk simply down into it, and you're in the terminal. And from the terminal you have two options. You got the survival as you come in here. It's going to be on your right. And you have the underground. You've got a special blueprints vendor. It's pretty garbage right now. Hopefully they'll update it because a lot of the gear pieces in there are not even worth a damn. And then you have a special equipment vendor, and he's going to give you named weapons, which have bonuses and things like that, and some guns maybe you can't get a hold of, and some armor pieces at the correct gear score, 256, just in case you need them. You go, well, damn, man, I got to get these Phoenix credits. You go, what the hell are Phoenix credits? Well, Phoenix credits are this almost kind of premium type currency that you can't actually buy, so don't worry about people having bought a lot of them or anything like that. But you can get them very easily now. I'm going to show you how to do that. So we're going to head back into the terminal here. So we're going to head back into our main hub here. And and we're going to go talk to one of our other folks. And you go, okay, well, Voodoo, I don't see any of this shit. What are you talking about? All these gear score and all this kind of stuff. You have to make it to level 30 first. Once you make it to level 30, then all this other fun stuff starts up. So we're here in the main hub, which, you know, if you've played the game for any amount of time, you know the regular hub. You come through the front door, and you have all of your different wings. You have the medical wing on your left, you've got the tech wing that's upstairs, and you've got your security wing to the right. So we're going to go over here and we're going to talk to our weapons vendor. And now all weapon vendors at all locations, at any place, are going to have these sealed gear caches, these basic sealed caches. They cost 400,000 now. They were only 200,000 for the last update, and now that the gear score is now 256, they're now 400,000 a piece. But if you're running daily HVTs or weekly HVTs or any of these other missions, you're earning a lot of credits, especially if you're selling off a lot of guns. Like I've got my gun set, so unless I find a specific gun that's just like mine and it's better, I'm not going to change it, so I'll just sell those guns, or I'll give them to the buddies that I'm running with or whatever. And so as you can see, we've got about 3.5 million credits currently. So what we're going to do is we're going to buy a number of these gear caches. Now, it says over there on the right, high-end gold 256. Also, you get between 13 and 24 Phoenix credits per box. So this is essentially where you can transfer the basic credits that you earn for in-game stuff. And as you can see, high-end 256 and resources 13 to 24 Phoenix credits. And so what we're going to do is we're going to open these bundles up, and that's going to give us a high-end item at a gear score 256. So we got, it's going to be a level 34 holographic sight and 22 Phoenix credits. So we got extended magazine and 23 credits. We got a prototype performance mod at 17 credits. And so this is essentially the way in which you can transfer these credits you got once you're maxed out on your levels into Phoenix credits so that you can then get items. But you can also get green gear set items. Then you can turn around, truck through them and go, what do you don't need? Well, right now shotguns are completely screwed. I don't care about Deadeye. Deadeye gives you 40% initial bullet stability, 20% marksman rifle critical hit damage, and when zoomed, marksman rifles lose headshot bonus but gain 100% critical strike chance. The problem with that is that most of the time you're not going to actually get to snipe from range for any amount of time. So it really doesn't do you any good unless you're with a group and your role is sniper. That's all you do. You could do it if you wanted to, but there's so much better gear sets that you can run that it's just not feasible. So this one's good. Prototype performance mod is 5.5% first aid ally heal, which is not great because I have a 7.5 and a 6.5, so we're going to mark that as junk. What you can do is you can come through here, and obviously you see the markers for the controller, but they'll have their actual buttons. You just mark it as junk, whatever you don't want. And that makes it easier to sell this stuff off when you get to the appropriate area. So holographic sight, 24% optimal range, headshot damage. I'm not a big fan of the holographic sights, so I get rid of those. Extended magazine, 100% the mag size, which is not bad. I think I could use that for one of my guns. Let's take a look through here. So we have a converted USC. I don't need the L86 or the RPK. I like this UMP for it's kind of it has a real low rate of fire, just kind of rolls along there. I don't need a shotgun, even though I like shotguns. 18.8, and I think this one's hitting for 19 even, yeah. Two things you want to look at. You have the 120,000 DPS, that's damage per second, but then you also have the 18.8 damage per hit, because that's another thing you have to take into account. If you have an extremely high rate of fire weapon, you kind of have to think, how many rounds can I actually get on target? Sure, this gun will do 120,000 damage per second, but how many of those rounds will I actually get on target? Well, 18.8 is what you hit for per shot, and you have a RPM, rounds per minute, of 650. With a mag size of 20, which you could boost, but anyway, we're not worried about the USC. I like this tactical UMP. At the time I was running a PP19 and the UMP at the same time. So if you wanted a high rate of fire with a large mag size, you would run the PP19. If you wanted something a little bit lower, very, very controllable, the UMP45 was where it was at. It's almost too slow, just how much it shoots, or how slow it shoots. Let's see. We're actually going to go back in. We're going to take a look at that. My UMP, I think, only has a a 97%. No, it has a 107% mag size. Okay. Well, we're not worried about that then. This one, let's check my 45 and see what it has. It has a 97. So let's see if a 100% will give us anything. It'll give us 14 rounds, but it gives us slightly less RPM, but slightly more DPS. And you got an extra round in the magazine. A little bit more DPS. Just due to the reload speed, so that's pretty good. And we'll just go ahead and mark that one because pretty much everything else is set up. So now we've marked everything we don't want, we can just turn right around, go to sell, and sell junk, and we sell it in bulk. And now our gear is clear, and we're ready to go. So let's go run a daily. Let's see what our dailies are. I ran the Russian consulate last night with some randoms on challenging. So, and I completed the Warngate power plant on challenging with Jack Thorland. He came in halfway through, and I'm trying to think. That one's a pretty good example. Let me see what the other one, Lexington Event Center on hard. I'm trying to think of what this mission is. Let's do it, and this should be a pretty good example of what to do and what not to do. Hopefully we don't get zapped on this one. And really where you end up getting killed is that you push too far forward, or you do something that's just silly and you don't think about it and you get tagged. And so essentially this is where most folks are going to be at, is if you don't have friends to play with, which hopefully you do. Okay, I know what this one is.
It's about taking the Rikers out at the knees. There's no one who can replace Lorraine Barrett. She's the one who organized the escape.
So first thing first, get to range, get set up. We can see we've got 3 level 34s.
Get them out first, but don't jeopardize the mission.
And all we got are frags right now, so we're going to actually start with a frag. It lands. Check our right. So usually it's pretty good to start off. You throw a grenade. As a grenade lands, they're worried about getting away from the grenade. You engage them with your machine gun at range. Or assault rifle, whatever. AR. And if anyone says, Voodoo, that stands for Arbalite Rifle, I'm gonna fucking shoot you with an AR. Yes, I'm fully aware that AR stands for Armalite Rifle and not Assault Rifle. None of these guns are technically classified as battle rifles for the most part. Alright, so we're here on the second floor. We've got a shotgunner, or whatever the hell these motherfuckers are called. So we're going to do something a little cheesy. So essentially we're going to find us a spot to defend. We're going to keep the bad guys in front of us. We're not going to allow them to push past us. They really don't have anywhere to go. Or we wait for them to make a mistake.
Warning. Incoming hostiles detected. Warning. Additional hostiles inbound.
Got a big guy on the left. Need to change positions. I'll essentially just kite this big guy. And so with that, you can tell you're like, oh, it took you a little while to do that. You know, it seemed kind of real slow. What kind of is about that? It's not. You're not in a real big hurry. You take your time, pick them apart slowly. But when you lay into them, you can see when this Lovac hits them, it doesn't play around. It pretty much lays them out. Of course, we can have our MG5 or an M60 for your sustained fire. We just press through on the mission. And essentially what we're doing is we're completing our daily tasks. And this is something to come in there, you get you a few credits, you run the game a little bit, do some odds and ends. I get tricked by this door again. Now where it starts to get kind of hairy is when they put you in the open like this. And these guys can kind of get in behind you. So what we want to do is we're going to start off with a bang here. using this increased mag size from the MG5 with just about the same stopping power as the what we're going for is we mainly want to stay moving. If we can, we want to bust their ammo boxes on their back. Pop our Healy box, allow ourselves to reload. Alright, good. Got that box to go off. Focus this guy down. That guy also died, which is good. Put some suppression on these guys, do a little boost from the box. Take cover, reload. Clear the corner, avoiding the snipers. Hunt for our target. There he is. We'll push to his side. Focused him. Now the two snipers are in the back. They can hit me through the little wicker shit, but I can't hit them. Suppress, we see we're down to 20 rounds. Corner. Oopsie daisy. The first aid will get you out of an extremely tight spot. The med bags or your med kits, you want to save those for dire circumstances where you're about to die and you're between skill cooldowns. Your signature skills when you either want to push or you really want to just, okay, I need some healing and I need it to, you know, I want to make sure that I'm covered and I don't go down here on top of my box, because they will shoot out your box next if they down you. And it just gives you a little breathing room and time to work and get that DPS out there to get your rate of fire out. So now once you learn the missions, then you go ahead and pre-aim your corners. We're going to prep a frag grenade. We're going to wait for the goofy whatever the hell they're talking about.
Negative, Ramos. We've got this. Find a secure position and hunker down.
Warning. Incoming hostiles detected.
What we want to do is we want to contain them here. See a little bit of movement and my box allow me to kind of tank this damage. Killed him. We're going to take cover, reload, reheal.
Lau here. I just heard about Ramos, Captain. Glad we reached him in time.
Thanks for that. My people are getting into position to breach the hall. Agent, you're gonna want to unlock the maintenance access. The building blueprints show a security control room down in the basement.
I'd had my mic muted at one point, and I was kind of worried. I was like, oh shit, did I just go America, racist country? Roger that. So as you can see, these three healing skills, as they cool down and come back, they really give you a lot of time to just continue to put the fire down on folks. And when you use these choke points and other things like that to help you out, it draws them in, and they can't really do a whole lot with it. Alright, so we've had them press on us. We're going to go ahead and fall back. Reload as we're moving. And take cover. And we've been able to clear 2 shotgunners.
So far, so good. My strike squads are moving in. They'll breach the main hall on your signal.
In this situation, what we want to do is we're going to focus the closest heavy to us, keeping an eye on our left and right. These bad guys will push on us. Pop our heli box. That'll help us tank this damage from this guy. Box was destroyed. You gotta be careful of that. So blind. So in this kind of situation, what we want to do is we want to get to a point where we can clear a flank. Just trying to hit that down. I want to try to clear up a flank, but Lorraine moves pretty quickly. I mean, the AI is good. They will transition fairly quickly from one side to another. But as we continue to eliminate her seconds, then it leaves just her. And if we stay up here, we control the engagement for the most part. We have time to move away. We have time to reload. We have time to dodge grenades. We have time to do all that kind of stuff. And then we run, because we got bad guys. And we continue just to control this upper area here. See, we got a guy under us. I got over there as well. Oh, that's heavy.
impressed, Agent. Tricky assignment. You did what had to be done.
Yeah, you broke their spine, kid. With the leader dead, the rest are gonna scatter.
I don't think we're quite done with them yet, but at least now we can get these JTF folks back on the job.
Oh yeah. I need my people alive and out there fighting the good fight. God knows we can't afford to lose any more personnel. I owe you, Agent. Hell of a job.
Go around, collect some ammunition. Of course, I'm sure there's 101 different guides on how to run this thing as quickly as possible. But I'm not here to farm it or anything. I'm just here to run through, get my dailies, stay alive. Which, as you get to this higher gear score and stuff, it gets fairly easy. And with these healing skills, you can pretty much walk them without any real worry. As long as you keep an eye on your stuff, check your local surroundings, keep your situational awareness up. So, of course, we got, for completing that, we're going to have some, we're going to get some Phoenix credits. That brought us up to 1,044. We've got a field proficiency cache, which, again, more Phoenix credits, and gives you 2 high ends. So we've got a green and a gold, a Tactician's Authority, and a PP-19, which is always good. So we kind of just checked through here. So we had defense knee pads, which I'm currently not using any defense. I don't even keep it. But the set bonus of 2 gives you plus 15% protection from elites, which is less than what my final measure, because that gives me, what does give me 15% protection from elites as well. Enduring one last segment of health. Health continue to regenerate as fill up the segment. May keep hold of that, we'll see. For the 3 set bonus, plus 30% ballistic shield health. So this one, set bonus of 4, allows using an SMG if one is equipped when ballistic shield is deployed. SMG crit chance is reduced to 0%, but you can bring it back with pulse. So that's something to take into account. Ironclad, the guy I run with a lot, he runs that. So, and it is handy because he just tanks all the damage and stuff. Alright, we don't need any Deadeye. Operator pack, technical, increased skill power by 15% while signature skills active. I don't care about that. No gloves. Tactician's Authority. So the 2 set bonus is 10% skill haste, which is an increase in the time it takes for your skills to regenerate and come active again. Plus 10% to skill power, and then for the 4 set bonus, every bullet your group hit enemies with adds 0.2% skill power to you for a max of 30%. Bonus disappears after 10 seconds of not being updated or after 10 seconds at full power. That could be handy. I've thought a lot about running it. I just hadn't really stopped and done it. I like this build a little bit better. Quick release magazine, and it's a small underbarrel. We'll actually keep that one. I think we can mount that on... No, cannot. I thought we could mount that on our pistol. So we got a paratrooper SVD 50.4. I don't think that's not even close. And for 16.4, Narson for 16.9. The next thing you'd want to look at would be the reload, or the talents for the gun. I'm not too worried about those two. They seem pretty basic. So we got Lexington Event Center. Now you can either return home or you can return to a local area and get that kind of stuff. Let's see. Let's look at. I think that's kind of stupid that if you run it on challenging, you should get the rewards for hard, which apparently I didn't. So alright then, let's well, that's kind of gay.
This is about taking the Rikers out at the knees. There's no one who can replace Lorraine Barrett. She's the one who organized the escape to Manhattan.
They're holding 3 of my people there. If you can get them out before blowing the
We're going to set it to hard.
I'd be grateful.
All right.
and
Get them out
we're gonna
first,
raffle
but
stomp
don't
these
get
fucking
good
comers.
ideas. We're going in on your heels. The jailbreak ends here.
So this one's gonna be a speed run. This as quickly as we can, without dying. Shouldn't die, but grenades and shotgunners find a way to try to do that to you. Let's see. Need some ammunition. There should be some at the top of the stairs, if I recall. Yeah, alright then.
Warning. Incoming hostiles detected. Warning. Additional hostiles inbound.
And of course, as you complete these other little tasks, then you can open up everything. And of course, you can tell the difference between hard and challenging. With challenging, you kind of have to watch yourself. Those guys hit real hard, they're pretty spongy. It takes a little bit to knock them down. And then we completely changed the dynamic when we moved hard from challenging. Their armor just doesn't keep them in the fight long enough to really be a threat to you. And it allows us to move around a little more. We don't nearly need our healing skills as much. And something with more DPS would probably be more appropriate.
Agent, the hostage is being held on the roof. You need to clear
So in this
it out.
situation, what we want to do is we want to press a corner, roll a flank, take a look at what's going on in the area. We can pick these containers up and throw them over there. So now we wait with our belt-fed gun, wait for the animations to go through, and then we're gonna clear these fuckers out.
Negative, Ramos. We've got this. Find a secure position and hunker down.
That's an order, Sergeant.
Warning. Incoming hostiles detected.
as you can tell from where I'm at, obviously, this may be obvious to me and some other folks, but it may not always be obvious. So, from where I'm at right now, essentially, all you can see would be just my gun and just one side of my body because of the way in which I'm standing here in this corner. So that allows me to into cover quickly and come back out, and I can even pre-fire the corner, so I start shooting here and come all the way into the target. Just some different things that you can think about. Go ahead and rearm. So now anytime you're sitting here, you've got something just like this. Anything that can surprise, delay, distract the enemy is always something good to utilize in the opening shots of an engagement, whether it be in real life or in a video game. Now obviously, don't try to, shoot a gas tank on something to get it to explode, in a legit gunfight. That would just be pretty ridiculous, and they would probably arrest you for it. And when they're moving through cover like that, continue to track them with your fire. Don't just stop, because a lot of times some of this is just merely concealment. It's really not cover. It's not hard and can stop ammo, America. Look out, America. The Koreans are coming.
So far, so good. My strike squads are moving in. They'll breach the main hall on your signal.
Strike squads. And I always like to start this off. She's always like, blah, 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 fucking. Blah, 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 blah. How about a fucking frag grenade, you goofy bitch? Weird one. Where did she go? She's back in the back. Never be afraid to give your position up. There are sometimes where you simply cannot. Fucking movies, Leroy Barrett. There's a little distance. Melee box. Elimination. We got a breather. We reload our second gun.
I'm impressed, Agent. Tricky assignment, but you did what had to be done.
Yeah, you broke their spine, kid. With the leader dead, the rest are gonna scatter.
I don't think we're quite done with them yet, but at least now we can get these JTF folks back on the job.
Oh yeah. I need my people alive and out there fighting the good fight. God knows we can't afford to lose any more personnel. I owe you, Agent. Hell of a job.
And so for that one, in the underground missions, you can run a challenging, and it will give you both the bonuses from the hard and the challenging mission. This needs to be updated so that it does the same. If you're running the challenging, you need to be able to get the bonuses for running the challenging and the hard mission at the same time. So we've got a proficiency cache or a combat assignment for, I think, killing 4 veteran bad guys or something like that. Go back and check through our stuff. Tactical mask and spec ops. It's just hard to run those gold ones, just because they're just not all that awesome. Another PP-19, not anywhere close to our current one. Well, 61 and 16.9. Alright, so we've run our mission here. We're going to go ahead and return to the house and restock. We'll do our checks and stuff like that. Make sure, see what we can purchase, because we should have plenty of Phoenix credits. And with that gear vendor that's in the hub, you can get green sealed caches, weapon caches, gold set piece items, and performance mods, I believe. We'll have to take a look at it again and see. We'll sell our junk there, and so now we come down here and we have weapon sealed cache, gear sealed cache, mod cache, and gear set green. You can do the greens. I don't know. I hadn't really decided. I hadn't really decided yet. I think I'll save them for now and see. Let's see here. Well, I think that's kind of short. Still there.
Let's have a chat. I got something you'll be interested in.
Works pretty well. Let's see here. Take me a little longer to run those there, but anyway, I think that's a pretty good idea of how this gear set works in 2 different 3-piece gear sets, and gives you a little rough idea what you should be looking at when you're moving through and doing different things. Anyway, if you like this, give it a thumbs up, share it with your buddies. If you didn't like it, thumbs down. Tell me what's going on, like, hey, I'm tired of seeing the division, or I'd like to see this, or what about these gear sets, or what about these weapons, or can we see this mission, or anything. Put it out there. I appreciate you guys watching this. Y'all have a good day. That guy is so annoying on that radio.